Hello, everybody. My name's Jason.
Hello, everybody, and I'm Steve.
We are the Highwaymen, and today we are going to be talking about the energy crisis. That's all over the news at the moment.
Oh, it's horrible. It's
What are we
just horrible.
thinking? What are we thinking, Steve?
Oh, mate, do you know what? It's the old saying, it's a perfect storm has come up so many times. But why are we not even in the remotest little bit prepared? Why have we been so reliant on gas coming from Russia, for example, for so long, when they're supposed to be, oh, look out for that, and things could go wrong. Why do we still just keep, yeah, we'll have some of that, thank you very much indeed, and not even put a plan B in place? That's just one little tiny part of it. I mean, surely people must realise that things are not quite right way ahead before things actually do deteriorate so badly.
But it's not just the Russian thing, though. You know that.
It's not just the Russian. No, it's not. It's a perfect. That's just a part of it.
Before this happened in Russia, apparently, so I believe I've heard various things. There's 7 companies in the world that produce all of the energy for everybody, and they suddenly decided, do you know what? It's about time we all got together and we'll all put our prices up at the same time, and everyone's going to have to pay because they're so reliant on our gas and electric, well, gas pretty much. So we're going to put it all up at the same time, and that's what happened. So it was all going up anyway, and then the whole Russia thing started, which then created a bit more of a vacuum. And it's like, oh my God, yeah, we can put it up even more. And we are, like you said, we're so reliant. We've got no alternative. We are reliant, but. I wonder about things like water. The way we get our water and everything. We're so reliant on the system. It could. Where does it stop? Your internet now. I mean, everything's based on internet and electric. If there's enough of a niche, we could end up just being going to pay for anything. Did you know that a few years ago, Nestle were trying to get the rights to all of the water in the whole world? They were trying to buy the rights, so that every single piece of, I heard this, it could not be true, but I can't remember where I heard it now, but every single bit of water that anybody consumes was going to be owned by Nestle. The CEO was trying to get the right. It didn't go for it. It couldn't happen. But he wanted to get the rights to all the water in the world. I mean, you imagine that. Even if you had a well.
That's ridiculous.
Even if you had a well in your garden.
And here's the thing that gets me, Jay. All right. So someone did not make that water in the first place. It's one of the wonderful God-given commodities that we get to enjoy. The air, the water, the land, the ground. You know what I mean? Who the frick believes that it's theirs to sell in the first place? Now, I get that they treat it. I understand that, the wastewater and everything else. But you know what? I could knock up one of those plants in my back garden, and it wouldn't be too hard to do so. So I think it's time, people, to start taking a stand and stop making other people incredibly rich from your own misery. Honestly, tear out your gas fires, put in a log burner. If you haven't got an open fire like there used to be in the 60s, if you can actually sort your own water out, you genuinely can. You can dig deep enough, you'll find yourself a borehole. Start to get to a point where you're more self-sufficient, and then, do you know what? Sod them. Just absolutely sod them. Yeah, our houses need to change. The way that we've been building houses since the 1950s, I suppose, is they don't have open fires. They don't have this. It's all radiators and central heating systems and everything else. The good news is they are well insulated, so that's a bonus. We did double glazed windows and all the bits and pieces like that.
Not like the old days when we used to get ice on the inside of your window when you opened the morning.
Exactly. When we were kids, I remember that. The first house that I remember growing up in, we never had central heating.
No, we never did.
No, and it was like
we had a coal house in our house.
We did,
like a little coal house.
Yeah, and hey, look, we survived. How miraculous!
And so somebody's watching this thinking, God, they are really old. Really old. They got remember that.
We just, well, here we are. So as well, we lived in Orkney for a little while upon the island, which is like going back in time, to be fair, at least 50, 60 years. Now, our house up there had what's called a Doric, and a Doric is like a mini version of an Arga, and it was solid fuel.
Yeah,
So basically, you put your coal in it, or wood, or whatever, it would burn anything. To be fair, peat, it would burn
yeah.
absolutely anything. Now that not only heated up the sort of
Just
several
for
rooms,
reference, Pete wasn't his next door neighbour. Pete is the stuff that comes out the earth. Yeah, just in case
but it
people don't
also
know. Some
it
don't
did your
know.
hot water.
We could burn Pete. Yeah,
Well, they do tend to burn quite well, to be
yeah.
fair. But it did your hot water. If you didn't like your Doric, you had no hot water.
Right.
But it wasn't an issue. It
No.
genuinely wasn't an issue. So basically, this thing just kept ticking over all the time. You could damp it right down, and you always had hot water. And you weren't reliant. You weren't
No.
reliant on the. It was lovely. There was no gas bills coming in. There was nothing
Yeah.
like that. It was just you. Do you know what? There's no reason why you can't get candles like it used to be and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, here's an idea for somebody. Here's an idea for somebody to grab and run with. So at this minute, there's a plethora of solar garden light. I'm looking at that. I
Yeah.
haven't got any, but all these garden solar lights, isn't it?
Yeah.
Time somebody came up with indoor ones, so it'd be dead easy to do. So it just goes in the center of your room, hangs on your normal light, I don't know, and then the wire goes outside and clips on your bloody guttering. I've no idea, but that's where your little solar panel goes. So you don't need to use your lights inside, and I'm sure you could do that to charge your mobile phone up or to do whatever
You can
else.
buy them. You can buy solar packs, but they're all, I mean, you can buy the ones for your car, for your mobile phone.
Seen them for your car?
Yeah, but I had a little one. My idea was I could charge my sat nav in my car. Put the sat nav on. This is going back a while now. Plug it into the solar panel. So therefore, I wouldn't have trailing wires everywhere. But it was never enough to actually power it over any time. I thought, even if it was like powered up over during the day when I'm not driving, but it didn't really work. Whether it's because it's going for the glass or not, or whether it's just a cheap one or not. But do you think? Do you think that the media's kind of like it's just too much? It's like constant, how
it's horrendous.
I mean, yesterday, Thursday, I was watching breakfast television, and there was a guy on there saying that the potato yield is so poor this year because we've had so much good weather, and the price of potatoes is going to be sky high. And do you not think that the media is just like desperately trying to push all this negativity all the time?
I saw your post on Facebook about that. Yeah. And yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know what I mean? It's just they're feeding us constant doom and gloom and doom and gloom. And you know how my head works? Nothing happens by accident, and I'm a really huge believer that everything is engineered in one way or another. So why is this all being engineered so that we're all so desperately fed up? What do you do? Perhaps not you and I, but what do you do when you're fed up and you're down? You go shopping.
You
go
cake,
shopping. You eat. Well, seriously, you either what's it called? Retail therapy.
Yes.
Or you're dead right. You eat. I mean, it's the old cliche, isn't it? Broken up with my boyfriend, going to sit down. Not me personally, although that may have happened. sit there, eating ice cream, eating chocolates, watching junk telly. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So in other words, we are spending money. We are spending money.
Yeah.
So could it be that our lovely, illustrious government is putting all this out there so that we're so fed up? And the ones that are thinking, God, we've got to save money, we've got to save it. No, I'm so fed up. I need to go out and buy a pair.
Spend some more and have some more credit.
Yeah.
I mean, I said to Sarah, this is no different to the 80s when the interest rates kept going up and up.
Exactly.
And up, and suddenly things were taken out of control. And in another couple of months' time, there'll be some other major catastrophe somewhere, and we won't even talk. It's like, the war in Ukraine hardly gets mentioned anymore.
No, you're right.
COVID is hardly mentioned anymore. You get, as long as there's another crisis to sort of feed us. And the other thing is, we like drama more than we like things to be nice.
Of course we do.
You've only got to watch your television. You watch one of your soap operas. If everybody's having a great time all the time, and and life's flying wonderful, and they've gone out and had a date night out, and it's been wonderful. We wouldn't watch it. We watch it because somebody's been raped, and because somebody's having an affair with somebody else, and nobody's telling each other. And it's the drama that people survive on. So actually, it's the drama and the negativity that sells the stories.
And it's because it makes us feel better about ourselves. Because the reality is, our lives are peppered with how are we going to pay that? How are we going to do that? So and so might have COVID. This could have happened. Honestly, it's so much badness that has been created by the things we're supposed to have to make our lives better.
Yeah.
And what it's creating is all this negativity from it. Yeah. So if you can see somebody else who's worse off than you are, it makes you feel better about yourself.
I think the people are going to be worse affected by this. I mean, I'm sure you're probably like me, as you pay by direct debit on your gas and electricity. So you pay over the year, so when the summer months, when it's a bit lighter, you're paying for your winter months. So it kind of evens out over the year. But for the people that can't get the credit, and they end up on these meters, where when you get a cold blast of weather in the winter, when it's like sometimes we get these -10 degree days, which is nothing. The Canadians are going to be watching this laughing at us. It's -10 and it's super cold, and obviously you're cranking your heating right up, and it's never, it's on constantly for the cycle, because it's giving you these people who are literally on the breadline, can't get the direct debit, and they're having to, and they literally, okay, I've got to put 50 quid in this week to keep.
Horrendous.
And it is going to be a case of eating or eating or heating.
Yes, it is.
People will die. When you get weather like that, people are going to die because they can't afford to actually put it in the meter. And but then still somebody, you've seen all these posts on how much the CEOs have been, bonused and all the rest of it, and how much these companies are making. People are sitting there with their 2 or 3 homes and all the rest of it because they can afford it. And then someone else is dying because they can't literally afford to put heating in the house.
If I was the king, if I was the king of this country and I had all this, all the castles and all the other bits and pieces around me, the whole point of being a king is to look after your subjects, not to be able to go and sit and luxuriate and look at all your gold and everything else.
No,
I would flog off some of my castles. Or not even flog them, rent them out, do something. I don't know, do something to bring in some money to help offset all this poverty. There will be a revolution. There absolutely will. I mean, and don't get me wrong, we're luckier than most people, Jay. Do you know what I mean? We're able to look at this, I suppose, but I just think of it and I look at the damage that this is going to cause, and I think to myself, it's not sustainable. It can't continue. It can't carry on like it. Little things as well. So we've almost forgotten about what a complete buffoon Boris was.
Yes.
And now we're all excited about who the next one's going to be. Wait a minute, they're cut from the same freaking cloth.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like choosing between cutting your left finger off or cutting your right finger off, isn't it? Really.
How clever that, that's all forgotten about now, but now we're going to have somebody else. But hang on a minute, they've got exactly the same values, they're the same party, they're doing the same thing, but now as we're all, whoa, this is exciting, who are we going to have? Wake up people, and realize what's being done to you.
I'm not remotely interested in who's going to be I'll probably favour Rishi Sunak over Liz Truss, just because I think she's just sly. I don't know. Anyway, that's my opinion of her. But so anyway, I mean, I think like I say, in another 12 months' time, I think things will have settled down a lot more. The government may have made some headway. Oh, the other thing is we had national, we had British Gas, didn't we?
We did.
Off. We had the electricity board got sold off.
Yeah.
And now Boris has announced 700 million to put into a new power station that's costing 20 billion. So that's going to be, we're funding something that's been privatised and other people are going to make money out of anyway.
Of course.
So what the hell? I don't know.
No, it does my. Oh, and just another thing. Look how pleased we all are that petrol's now only 160 a litre. We're pleased.
She was saying this. Oh well, because we got electric car now, And she was like, "Oh well, the electric's going up and the gas is coming down." I said, well, "We're only paying £1.10 in last January, a year last January. It was at £1.10, and now we're paying £1.06 there." And, like
And
you
we're
say,
all
it's,
chuffed.
yeah, mad, isn't it? Crazy, mate, crazy. Well, like I say, what's going to be next? Water, internet, clothes,
Air, the air.
Yeah, privatise that.
Yeah, why not? I'm
depending
going to
on
do it.
How
We'll
tall you
do
are.
that.
Well,
We will privatise the air.
I think the film's Burlesque. And there's a guy in that who owned the View, and he said he bought the air rights from where. And I don't know whether that's a thing or not. Whether someone's actually bought, but who do you buy it off? You know, who do you buy the air rights off? Who owns the air rights in the first place? So no one can build up. I don't know how true that is. Somebody tell me. Is that a thing in America? You can actually buy the rights to the air so that no one can build over you.
Yeah.
Crackers, mate. You can buy another planet. I mean, you can literally go online and buy another planet.
So here we are then. So the next thing will be virtual airspace. So if somebody does build in front of your window, what you'll have is you will then have a virtual view from out of your window that's projected.
Well, no, if you think about it, they did it in the original Total Recall. So they all lived in these little flats, but rather than have windows, they just have big television screens. So you could be on it. So it look like a window. You think about the TV screens we've got now, but you have a view. You could be looking out to a nice desert
That'll
island.
happen then, won't it? That will happen.
Yeah, because we'll get to the point where we have no wind. You know, there's so many people that we've got no space. Everyone's going to, you know, you're not going to get a place with windows. Not everybody is. That would pay premium for that. So you get an inner one, and you just have a television screen that shows a nice projection. So you think you're living somewhere nice.
What a scary place to be.
I know, mate. Another 100 years, mate. It's going to be a whole different ball game.
You're right. I think you're right.
On that point,
so climate change, be self-sufficient. That's basically, the energy crisis. Be self-sufficient as much as you possibly can be. Grow your stuff.
And if your neighbour's called Pete, stick him in the what was it called? Doric. Stick him in the Doric. He'll burn well and keep you warm. And once you've burnt him, try his wife. You know, neighbours the other side.
There's a song there somewhere, and put Pete in the Doric. There is a song there.
I don't think there is a song that's been written already. I think you're
gonna needs writing.
You're gonna needs writing, mate. Just need writing.
Yeah.
And if you haven't already, go back and watch video number 22 because we are doing a giveaway and you can win some free stuff. So go and watch video number 22. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you all next time.
Been fun. Thank you very much, everybody. Take care.